Will we see the Lion?
I think one of these teams is going to ban Lion. I couldn't tell you which.
Yeah. I mean, Secret used to be all about the Glaz Mira bans, and they certainly have
go.
not changed the tune too much from the looks of it.
Glaz, but will it be a Mira? Only time will tell. Mira is definitely a really good operator on this map, so sensible ban. Vitality, yep, there goes Lion.
All right.
So we got the very typical bans here. I mean,
will we see Echo though for the for
so
Vitality?
Just a heads up, in case you didn't watch the rest of the matches, this is now the third match today where Glaz and Lion have been banned, and Echo this is the second match today where Echo has been banned. I mean,
this one makes the most sense for Vitality though, based off how they attack.
Yeah, I mean we see. There you go, Mira, as you expected, as you touched on earlier. So, man. Today's ban phases have just been about as predictable as it gets. Lion, Glaz, Valk, Echo. Glaz, Lion, Mira Clash. Lion, Ying, Maestro, Mira.
The Ying
Glaz,
in there was
Lion, Mira, Echo.
That was probably the least predictable of all of those.
Yeah, but it's also it falls into the predictable. I mean, it's Ying, dude. Ying is so strong.
Yeah.
So, and it was a direct counter ban, of course, against Hungary.
Yeah.
In the previous match we just watched, and you know, as we all, if you watched CG Sports in Europe for a while, you know Hungary's one of those really good Ying players. Anyway, here we go. CCTV, Cash Room, the first defense, and that's obviously usually referred to as Cash. It's on the top floor, as you can see. A big part of this site is defending the garage, and if you can hold on to garage and maybe roam a little bit by the master, you can delay for quite a bit as a defensive team.
Yeah, you just got to be able to hold it off, and Maestro ends up sometimes being a big part of that as well. They've got the ability to put some those Legion mines on the stairs leading up, along with the barbed wire. Plenty of setup possibility here. I like the Evil Eyes in watching multiple rooms with that. This construction connector room has definitely made an interesting change to this map for sure.
Pretty standard setups going on here. Interesting that there's not going to be an Evil Eye inside of Garage. That could be a very powerful position for an Evil Eye, but instead you get one in Server to deny the default plant, and over by Construction to deny the flank potential for the attackers. Well, not really deny it, more just put pressure on attackers if they choose to try and flank.
Well, definitely will do so. They will also have the ability to at least see into the Garage, potentially with the Pulse that they have. I'm not sure where he's going to be playing. Sometimes you see Pulse playing Oil Pit, for example, and he'll play with those C4s. Looks like at the moment he's kind of playing top of blue. He's going to be, I'd say, pretty flexible roamers the way they're going to use him from the looks of it so far. Zafir did 6th pick from the Dokkaebi to the Thatcher, so hopefully they're going to get some good mileage out of those EMP grenades.
I like this, Rafael. Already putting the Claymore down, way ahead of actually opening up the wall. As the utmost faith in his Thatcher, being able to throw a grenade and take out this battery so he can plant Thermite Charge and open it up. It's a bit of a coordination effort, though, as this is something that this is one of the few walls that is still bandit tricked in the current meta. So you need to use grenades, lifelines, just any form of utility you can to get the bandit off of that wall. And of course, that will be the focus for Vitality right here. Ooh, but a missed opportunity. Spark is not going to be able to throw his nade because Meepy is there to eliminate him as he drops onto the window. That's a really calculated move from Meepy, not just a normal, hey, let's peek a window, but a, hey, let's deny the grenade so that our player can continue to bandit trick. And because Lems is going to be allowed to bandit trick that wall for an extended period, that means the attack for Vitality has become so much more difficult than just, hey, we lost one player.
And of course, Vitality are known for those slow attacks, so not being able to get a wall open is a big cost for them. It looks like they might have actually pulled it off. So if they have, there we go. It has happened, so Rafael done his job, and as well as downing Stiz in the catwalk. Gonna go for the finish, and there we go. So traded back. I guess Vitality not in the worst position here.
Yep. I want to say that maybe the nade flew true despite the sledge dying. Whatever the case be, they were successful in getting the wall open. That's the most important thing. So his life not wasted. You could see Zafir looking for Lackey downstairs, but unable to land the shots. He was just inches away from a kill there, but it didn't happen. Leon doing Leon things, looking for kills. Zafir eating every single Legion trap he can. Love that Vitality skin there on the LD5. Bibu will take out Lackey, and as the clock starts to approach midnight, it's looking pretty bad here for Vitality. They do have a man advantage, but only 20 seconds to get this defused plant down. And there's still an Evil Eye very likely in play here on the default plant spot. Maybe trying to deny the rotation. Diffuser goes down, and ooh, a double kill for Alems. Leon will also take out Brid after Brid downs Alems, and it's a double for Leon. So each player for Secret contributing to the victory of that round. What a play from the Jaeger here with the vault from Construction.
Definitely nicely played. They knew when to kind of rotate back to site and hold it off, but they also weren't there just for free kills early on once the wall got opened. So there's a lot of good timing and communication coming out from Secret, and that they knew when to be there and when not to be, to not give any early kills, although Stiz unfortunately did fall victim to that on the catwalk. And that's such a common play you see now as a way to counter that catwalk. Once that wall is open, just firing through that soft wall, I'm almost starting to like waiting for teams to find the reinforcements, the spare ones, to reinforce that wall, because we see that's such a common thing, to just fire through that, look for any opportunities to catch anyone on that catwalk, because that corner is such an important part of the catwalk, because it allows you to peek through those cracks and play it flexibly, although you don't have a lot of places to go. You either can go back into the window or go back down the stairs. Vaulting itself is usually kind of a death sentence. Stiz going to tease the clash, but ultimately select Ella instead.
Attackers need to locate
So we'll
and
see
defuse as
how
many
it works out
bombs
for them, but it
as
was
they
nice to tease that. They are going to go all the way downstairs for their second defensive site, which is, I'd say, more often than not, the secondary. Gym bedroom hasn't seen the success I think some people were expecting it to. It's still a good site, but now with the inability to impact nade trick it, which I believe was the case of adjusting the upper part of that jacuzzi wall, now it's not as attractive a site.
I mean, I think every single one of these sites is honestly pretty. Clubhouse is, in my eyes, a defender site at the map. But I know there's a lot of opportunities for the attackers, especially with the addition of Maverick. Like at sites like Master, for example, Maverick has really hurt that site. But no, I still think that even the basement, you know, after its many changes, is defendable, and the kitchen or the bar pool table area as well, or the stock bar, not really a pool table. It used to be able to plant by the pool table, and they changed that, so good change. Anyway, all of these sites are defendable. It just takes time, I think, to hammer out some of the strategies, especially on the newer ones like bar, because that is the most changed site of all of them. Basement, of course, seeing a huge change, but not nearly as much.
Bar was never a favorite, but it definitely is not now.
Well, Bar was the secondary site for so long. If you guys weren't watching Esports of Siege back in the day, yeah, Bar was where people went after they defended the basement.
But it was still, like, it was one you were reluctant to go to at that point most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't really have any option, but yeah, it definitely was not a good site. Anyway, Vitality clearing out the top floor, or trying to. There's still 2 roamers up here. And Zafir is going to be cutting off rotation from the construction to office or vice versa by getting a line of sight onto that hole. You see Brid is also going to be putting his body to these efforts of clearing the top floor. Rafael as well from construction window. So this seems to be the main focus for Vitality. They're not going to start pushing the site until they've dealt with these players upstairs. But of course, the job of the Secret players on the top floor is not really to get kills or engage. It's just to waste time, and they're already doing that very well.
Well, they just got to get the control of the upper part of the map here for the attackers, which, like we talked about, Vitality are a little bit slow in doing so usually, but in this case they seem to be a little swifter on it, and Leon, though, is going to slow things down with the kill on the Thatcher, meaning if he didn't get his EMPs off now, that's going to be a little bit more of a struggle. Lems, though, unfortunately cannot land enough of those shots.
Eats a lot of damage there while he's trying to. Lems will also go down, but Leon's ready there for a triple kill in his favor. And Vitality now, while trying to clear out the roamers, will have lost the bulk of their forces. Remaining 2 attackers are the hard destructors, and there's Steezy from behind, leaving just Brit in the 1 versus 4. So it's not a great situation to be in, and it looks like Secret has managed to secure 2 rounds in a row. As Brit peeks towards Cash, these 2 players know that there's an opponent on the other end of the doorway, but they're unable to spot immediately. Shots exchange, but the flash will actually only blind Brid. You can see Steezy's just going to fall back. He's not trying to throw the round. As much as he believes in himself, he also knows the right call here is just to wait out.
It's surprising that it was that many fights and that many deaths 2 floors above the bomb site.
Yeah, I mean, that's all on Vitality, though, putting their emphasis on clearing the bottom floor. If they had, or sorry, the opposite of the bottom floor, the top floor. If maybe they had just pushed the site, they could have entered into a 5v3 and maybe had some more luck. But It's not to be. Pre-fire coming out here. Brid gonna
Seconds remaining.
just skirt around that. He will get it down onto CZ and finish him off, but it's about as low impact of frag as you can get, and Secret will still win the round. 2-0 in their favor now on defensive clubhouse.
Well, I imagine we'll see Jim for their next defense, Jim Bedroom. It is a little bit harder, as I said, as a defender now, and maybe this is where we'll see Vitality get one, but no. Secret not going to make it that easy. They're going to go to bar, and hopefully they've got some good tricks up their sleeve, because this is, so you're saying, one of the harder bomb sites to defend now. So it is definitely one that we've seen some teams try some interesting things, but a lot of times it's just so hard to defend. I mean, a lot of upstairs defense can help with this. For example, defending cache was always a little bit of a thing when people would go for stock plants. Even more so now, when stock plants are still definitely going to be a thing. Zafir going to be pulling out the Monty. Now, I wonder if he's thinking they're going to be going to Gym Bedroom, or if this is the old school Monty plants being to push onto stock that I was just talking about, which is pretty typical. So I got to imagine that's the most likely scenarios that he read into, that they were going to go bar next and bring in the Monty specifically for that stock push.
Yeah, it's still viable. Of course, stock wasn't changed at all. It's one of those rooms that remained pretty much untouched. There might be like some minor change that was implemented, but nothing that really pops in.
The biggest change is that it's near those blue stairs that are new.
Yeah.
I mean, not to the room directly, but it's nearby.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, if you could call that a change to stock, sure. I guess the drop-down influences the hallway at the end of those stairs quite a bit, but
sure.
But it's not going to play too much of a role here.
No, not really.
As you can see, it has been opened up. Secret, if they play anyone in B, will have that drop-down as an immediate retreat if they're feeling too pressured, so they can fall out of there. The biggest reason that this site is more viable is because A is no longer totally over by the pool table.
Yeah, that's the big thing, is the pool table plants were definitely a big deal, but as we said, the stock plants are still a thing. Like this, it's stock remaining unchanged means still a thing, although it is now definitely easier to defend cache, which I think is a game changer with this.
You can, in theory, do a vertical hold on stock. If you push up into cache, there is a little bit of an indestructible wall above the stock doorway, but all that said, I mean, it doesn't seem to be the focus of Vitality right now, as they simply just want to push in through garage. Secret holding on to the server and cache room. They're just going to be waiting for that push.
Loading new mag.
Monty is a tough thing to deal with as a roamer sometimes, especially if it's got support from some guns behind it. It seems like Zafir is kind of overextending himself just a little bit much, maybe. He's trying to get the batteries for Rafael, who will now thermite the server wall. Now, once you have that control, you can establish your own crossfires on the top floor as an attacker. But the thing is, this is a bar defense right now, so this is basically just Secret effectively wasting time.
Yeah, I mean, this is like similar to last round, right? Where so much of the time was spent upstairs by Vitality, they weren't able to actually do anything with it. Now, of course, taking control of cache room does allow you to control downwards for when you go for the stock plant, but now Monty's going to have to rotate if that's what they want to do.
See Leon's waiting for his opportunity to open up a crossfire. He's waiting for the call from his teammate that, hey, Monty is pushed up to the master door. And he is indeed pushed up to the master door. He will go for the shots and land quite a few of them. Zafir down to about 25 HP. So not great as a Montaigne. That means you could be shot in the hand, shot in the shield, and you will likely go down to most guns. It's not a great situation. He will be reset as a result. But here's the thing. Taking the time to reset in this scenario with so little time left. I mean, it's like 20 seconds to make that action happen. And meanwhile, you're just not doing anything. So Vitality now have the control they want, which is cache room. They're going to be able to open up above B. They're going to reset the Montaigne, lay down some smoke, and go for a defuse plant inside of B with Montaigne covering. Solid strategy, sure. But they're up against the wall that is very little time.
Now, they have a lot of floor opened thanks to the sledge inside cache room, so it is going to be somewhat hard to contest it. They have 3 smokes, though, and plenty of time. Yeah. And that's really the biggest advantage there for LMs.
That's the big thing, is the gas canister is still in play, and they're perfectly set up to throw them. Steezy trying to push the top floor with Leon and pressure the attackers off of the top of B. If they can reestablish top 4 control, then you don't even need the gas canisters. Lackey will go down, though, so it's not a great start for Secret. The diffuser has been planted, so the gas canister is not being utilized. They actually will get a kill with it. Rafael goes down, likely the planter, but Rid will get Leon as he attempts to push the top floor still. You can see Montaigne still in play right on top of that diffuser, and CZ's going to have to fall through the drop-down because of his teammate's gas canister. Montaigne on so little HP will go down to a single bullet from Alems, who is so close to this diffuser. He's itching to disable it, but he's not going to be able to, as it's being adeptly covered by the attackers. CZ and Meepy now the last two, as Alems is down, I believe. Jump out from Meepy will get a kill. Brid gets Alems, though, on the final, and he will get the second to end the round. Vitality take their first one as they attack onto Bar.
What, Vitality getting a plant down in the last 10 seconds and somehow winning?
Crazy, never seen that before.
Well, it did work out for them on one bomb site, but that was the worst bomb site for Secret, so now they don't have to go there again, so chances are we will see maybe 2 more defensive wins here. If things continue as they were for Secret, they're going to go back up to Cash. They don't want to deal with the gym bedroom, so they're just going to go ahead and continue rotating Cash and then possibly Church if they have to.
Kind of curious about what it says that Secret decided to go to Bar instead of Master. We've talked about it before, but Maverick has really hit Master as a site, and made it much less viable. So it's possible that Secret's reading into that and saying, hey, you know what, we're just going to figure out how Bar works. And that last round, they really didn't. They struggled quite a bit there. Echo was, of course, banned, which means the indirect denial is limited. But there's still, potential for a Maestro to be brought and an Evil Eye to be placed inside of stock. They had the gas canisters, and they had the smoke set up well to utilize those gas canisters. Perfect hole from the tables. Setup was great from Secret. However, the timing was a little bit bad from Alems, and because of that, the gas canister did manage to kill the diffuse planter, but only after the diffuser had been planted.
Yeah, it's definitely a case of maybe just lack of intel from Evil Eyes or something like that in order to call out when to do that properly, because if you time it right and hit it, then obviously you should be able to at least stop the planter, if not kill them. But since he wasn't able to pull that off, I got to imagine it was just lack of knowledge of when the plant started going down, either that or he was preoccupied at the time.
Either way, big whoops, and because of that, Vitality are going to get their first round.
That's just one round, though, and I definitely don't think Secret are suddenly out of the running because of that one round at all. This is definitely going to be a potential comeback here. Last time we saw a pretty coordinated attempt at opening the wall that Alems was not able to stop bandit tricking. So I can imagine the same plan this time, but no, it won't be because they're going to bring a Montaigne instead of a Thatcher. So they're going to be going with a slightly different approach to get this open. We've seen Zephyr try this a lot in terms of pushing the Monty into the garage and failing many, many times in the past. Will that be the case? Maybe, but it's definitely something that has been not the greatest of patterns for him, but looks like he could be going for a different approach. He could even go right up to that window, potentially, if he was protected on the connector window side, but that's a big risky play to make.
Risky indeed. We'll see if they make it. Now, first step for Vitality, as per usual, clear out the roamers. Once you've cleared out the roamers, then you can attack the site. You can see Spark is focused on that Jaeger. That's Leon inside of the office. Hard to deal with Leon when he's decided to take control of a location. He actually very nearly got a kill there on Brid just a second later, and that would have been probably a frag as the Brid was approaching the window. Good positional gameplay from Leon. He has relocated outside of office so he can get back into the site whenever he wants to, and it seems that attackers think he's still there, and he's just going to fall all the way back.
Well, they have finally cleared that logistic, or the logistics and bedroom rather. Zephyr now pushing in to the connector construction doorway. If they can turn this into some kind of attack, this could work. They're going to need either Hibana or Thermite to open up the wall, though. We've seen a lot of attacks on that side not do so great from a lot of teams. Notably, I'd say Rogue struggles with that a lot. But if they're able to pull it off, this could be a good attack win for them, as they will have taken the primary bomb site off of Secret.
Rafael waiting for his opportunity to see thermite charge in through the server wall. You can see Vitality setting up the lifeline and everything to make this thermite charge happen. However, there is no bandit battery on the right wall, and there's no bandit tricking this. So a little bit of a delay there that was unnecessary, and because of that delay and the way that they were trying to play it, Vivu will lose his life to a well-timed peek from Alems.
Well, they do get the wall open. That's the important thing here. We'll see, though, if the Montaigne will be important. But Spark getting that kill into Alems is a nice trade back. Bandit isn't as important now, but that gunpowder definitely would have helped.
C4 from below. Lackey perfectly placed, but it's not going to get the kill, nor will it do any damage. So a good movement there from the attackers to avoid it. But look at this, 25 seconds left, and Secret's still in great position to hold this site firm.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
Vitality now going to be pressured to make this push. And here comes the push from Secret. Leon will go down, and Lackey and Meepy, they'll get their own kills inside of the site. You can see Lackey still wreaking havoc, and so will Meepy. What a flick with the hip fire into Zephyr. Secret take the round, and they are up 3-1 in the first half. Vitality, I think their trademark slow attack really working against them there.
Yeah, definitely the case where, I mean, they got the wall open, they did the job, they put some good pressure on, but yeah, typical slow approach leading to not much of significance happening till towards the end. The lack of Thatcher actually meant that it was much longer before they got the wall open this time. So that increased their delay on the push. And then when push came to shove, there was just a lot of good positioning, a lot of defenders left on site because they'd managed to rotate back. People like Leon were not killed by that early pressure. Now, that is one of the things about Vitality is, yeah, they take a while to get to site, but most often they've either pushed people back to site or gotten kills in the process. In this case, it was not a lot of kills happening other than Alems dying towards the end.
So, basement once more for Team Secret. They were, I think this is probably their most successful site.
Yeah.
Last time they defended the basement, they roamed on the top floor, and Vitality tried to clear out those roamers. They didn't get past the roamers.
No, they did not.
And couldn't even touch the bomb site. So we haven't actually seen the bottom floor really come into play yet. So this might be an opportunity for Vitality to change their ways and you know, actually get to the site this time.
Well, hopefully they can pull something off here, but it is going to be a struggle. Leon's going to be on that vigil. Lackey's going to have some cameras around in different locations to help with that as well, because they can sit on site downstairs and watch these cameras to help out the roamers. And I think that's a big deal. When you can turtle down on site and have someone dedicated just to watching cameras, I think that can make a big difference in roamers' ability to manage their own roam and get the information they need to kind of creep around, especially with someone like Leon, who is going to be good at sneaking around. As long as he doesn't die early in a round, he tends to be effective towards the end. So that could be the case here. VP is going to be, again, bringing that Maestro that's been working out so well for him as well. So they have a pretty good setup for this here, but they're going to try the Montaigne again here, something they have been doing, I'd say, the last couple rounds. And just something that Zephyr seems to like to do. I mean, I guess it worked to an extent last round, but not quite. And even the one round where he got down very low health, did manage to get a reset.
Spark. Opening up that hole into construction. From this position, you can do a lot to cut off the rotation on the top floor. But unluckily for Vitality, Secret is mostly isolated. The roamers to the west side, and they are not going to be worried about that. Ooh, this is potentially a really easy kill for Leon if he holds this spot, holds the angle. Spark, as soon as he opens up the drop down, if he does it from this angle, will die. But that's totally up to Spark. This is the type of thing where you look back on the VOD and you're like, oof, so close to a kill there. And yeah, here it comes.
The tension mounts. Oh, the timing.
Blocked by the hollow, the scope unable to see the sledge because of the location there. Yeah, you're right, really bad timing there for Leon. But he's still alive, and he's still got the position. Here's the Montaigne pressuring him, and will fall back. Manages to sneak past 3 different attackers and fall to the pool table along with Alems. Just narrowly avoiding death there, but also managing to make it back with the, plenty of time wasted.
Good calls on their part. They're really playing this cat and mouse game with just all of the attackers. They have given them more control this time than they had last time on this attack, so there is that. But at the same time, they also have not died, and now they're scaring them off.
What just happened? Thermite being shot at from behind, getting on drones, and now dead. Raphael, what is going on with your game sense, man? Maybe someone was talking to him and he didn't hear the gunshots. That's the only theory I have. Yeah, diffuser downed, and the surgical precision roam from Secret is going to pay off again. Alems just falling back to the strip club because he knows he can now simply wait, and he will likely have more success as we come down to the last 34 seconds. At any moment, Alems can just spring into action and come from behind and kill a Vitality member.
And Leon got all the way back down to blue as well, so he's able to help the team out there. This is not looking great for Vitality.
Certainly not. I mean, they're nowhere near a position to push. I'm not actually sure what they're trying to do here. It looks like it's going to be an Arsenal push, using Zephyr through the destroyed wall there. That's because there were no reinforcements made earlier in the round. Steezy's going to be the one to try and stop this. Whips out the pistol, but loses to the Montaigne. This is a great flurry of kills for Vitality, but it's not all over yet. So 1 versus 1, in fact, and the time will be the final decider. Vitality, once again, due to their slow attack strategy, will lose a round. And now we transition to the second half with Secret in a decided lead of 4-1, and now they get to set the tempo.
You really got to wonder what happened with that thermite, though. That was definitely not great. But a lot of great plays there by the two roamers. Like, just the way they were playing that, just trailing out of sight of the attackers in a position where they were never able to catch up to them. Even when he pinned himself in the club, like, they weren't able to actually pressure him. And it was like, you saw he really wanted, BB wanted to go chase him down, but it was like, we got to go for the site because we're so low on time at this point. It was very well played. We'll see how Vitality do it, though. They're going to go for Church as their first site here, and we'll see if they have a good one as well, because the only thing that didn't work out for Secret was Bar. Everything else they successfully defended twice.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Leon going to be bringing Maverick, too, interestingly.
Maverick is a very powerful operator when used properly, and I've talked about it before, and I'll talk about it again. I've seen firsthand what Leon can do with Maverick. It's freaking scary, man.
Yeah.
What's probably going to happen here is he'll probably late push in through the dirt tunnel, solo, make a little crouch hole, and move his way in when Vitality is paying attention to other parts of the site. Because of the silence of that Maverick hole, we'll be able to get probably 1 or 2 flank kills and hurt the defense. That's what he's been doing on Clubhouse. Last time we saw Secret play here, which was actually, I believe, I want to say last week. Was no, it wasn't. Last week they played on Border, but we have seen them play on. I know we have seen them play on this map before. Yeah. They did manage to do some similar stuff with Leon, or maybe no, that was somebody else. That was another player. But yeah, Maverick, when you push him in through the tunnel, yeah, you do it solo. If you time it right, he can do some damage. Another thing that he can do is silently open the doorways.
It's a rare thing to see, but that is one of those advanced plays.
Yeah, like I said, Mavericks, I think that...
Oh, Rafael.
Okay, so, you know, as much as the utility can be nice.
The nice shot from Leon.
The nice shot from Rafael will be even better. And yeah, I mean, that's definitely a shot that deserves respect. That's a pre-fire right there. If he weren't a pre-fire, Leon probably would have won that, because he was the one already holding the angle. So really props to Rafael there.
Well, that is one attacker down here. Maybe we'll see this go very defensive-sided all around. But unlike when Vitality were playing on attack, a lot of time left here for Secret.
Yeah, they're a lot more efficient with their attacks. That's something we all know, though. I think it's well known within the community that Vitality are slow on attack. It works out for them sometimes. It doesn't work out for them other times. You know, it's not necessarily a good or bad thing. It's just that is how Vitality plays. Now, Secret, on the other hand, have done well to already open up those lanes. However, because of their aggressive pushes, they have not cleared out any of the roamers. And now they're actually starting to consider pushing the roamers, which it might be a really bad time to do that. If you want to do these things, usually you'll do them a little bit earlier. But you can see that Secret are trying to make it happen now.
I like the advantageous use of angles, but the pre-fires from Vitality are on point.
Yeah, absolutely. Bibu reading the situation perfectly, and he might even get a third kill here. Yes, he will. Or the third kill for Vitality, his second. But Spark will finally go down, so one of the roamers eliminated. It's not over for Secret yet, but it's looking like Vitality might be able to get another round. Great positioning from Bibu will give him his third kill in this round, and Steezy now the last attacker. Not in a great spot to win this one, but he's just going to do his best. As he pushes in through the blue tunnel, he will be shut down by Zafir.
Well, we're seeing the opposite of Bank here. This is entirely defender-sided so far with only one attack win.
Yep.
I mean, this is only the first round for Vitality on defense, but so far looking pretty good in a similar situation to what we saw the first time Vitality attacked down to Church, which is everyone dying upstairs. So, unfortunately, that seems to be the theme of Church is cash area, and just the entire upper floor is just a death trap.
So while that round was a lot more time efficient from Secret, they also made a huge mistake, which is they didn't clear out the roamers, and then they chose to try and fight the roamers later in the round. If you want to clear the roamers, it's like when you're cleaning yourself. You clean yourself top to bottom, you know? You don't have to go backwards and double up on things. Whereas, you know, you might be time efficient, but inefficient strategy at its core, and because of that, Secret will lose the round. Good roamer game, or good roamers from Vitality though as well. You got to give them massive props. So good job to Vitality for holding.
Some great plays from Bibu especially there, and some great pre-fires. The one from Rafael as well. So a good start there. Bibu with 6, Brid with 5, and then quite a few high numbers as well over on Secret with the LMs, Leon and Meepy. But the distinctive point advantage here going over to Secret still, as they are at 4-2, so plenty of time there still for them to close it out. This is looking, I mean, it's unlikely to be a tie, but this is, you know, the same thing that we just saw on Bank, so it's entirely possible.
Yeah, nah, I don't know if Vitality can really make this comeback happen. It's definitely in the cards, but it's going to be a lot of effort they'll have to put forward to make that happen. So, they're going on to Cash, and they did manage to get the basement, but this time they aren't going to have the advantage of that roam being so influential, because Cash Room is on the top floor, and roaming in the basement of Clubhouse, while you can get some kills from there, it's something that can be easily isolated by the attackers, and it's not going to hurt as much. So I think the roamers being less useful might give Secret a good advantage in this round. Here comes the Thermite, and it does not look like it's being tricked. No, indeed it is not. Rafael elsewhere, and server is now open.
Oh, there's Rafael.
Yeah, so Leon able to get the kill into Rafael. While it is hard to open up those drop downs with Maverick if there's a reinforcement on them, it's really, 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 really easy if there's no reinforcement. It's like, what is it, like 2 ticks or something like that?
Yeah, it's really quick and pretty quiet.
Yeah, so it still makes a noise when it breaks, but it's pretty quiet if it's not reinforced. Anyway, Secret now with a lot of control. They've pushed all the master roamers back, and they've opened up that server wall, which means that now they can start their actual push onto the site. Very likely going to be some soft destruction used here to open up an angle towards Cash Room. Good teamwork from Secret to allow that to happen.
Yeah, you saw the call out there like, hey, this wall's still soft, can you open it? And so he can sneak his way through without having to waste his torch.
You can see that Meepy's playing about as safe as possible out on that balcony. He knows that the skill level of Vitality is high, and if they should choose to peek him, they could potentially win the fight. So he's playing with only his head exposed. The predicted peek here from the Jaeger will, as a result of this repel, not see any kills. And in fact, we'll actually see the opposite of what Bibu wanted, which is a kill onto him. Good job there from Meepy playing that angle about as perfectly as he can. Steezy going for the push into A, and there's no one to stop him planting. Leon will cut off the rotation from the rotation hole, and another teammate from construction has an angle onto the doorway. Diffuser plant goes down with relative ease, and that has prompted all of the Vitality members to now reassess their positions, though they are stuck in a really bad spot. As Meepy is cutting off rotation from the other site, and Leon is cutting off rotation from the rotation hole, Lackey will take down Zafir on the flank, and Secret will win their first attack.
Definitely a great execute, and while Vitality are good on retakes a lot of times, it was a situation where they allowed way too much setup time from the attackers to be in the perfect positions to cut off all those rotations. You can't really retake if they're basically set up for it at that point. It wasn't a case where we're like, oh, let's plant and scramble and figure out what to do. It was like, okay, it's all unlocked, just go ahead and plant. So a good read and good play by Secret, excellent execute, and we're looking like a potential third 6-2 of the day, the way things are going so far.
It is definitely looking that way, but it's not over for Vitality. Gym Bedroom, a site we have not seen yet today, is going to see play now. Again, after the most recent DLC, this site became a little bit less viable.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I liked the way it was possible to impact nade trick it. I'm a little disappointed, to be honest.
I'm glad that you can't impact trick that wall anymore, because it was honestly it was really stupid. It was so one-sided. Well, there just wasn't much the attackers could do about it. And I mean,
could
with
hub on at the
Maverick
bottom.
being in play, yeah, you could hub on at the bottom, but it's such a slow process.
Yeah.
And there are other walls where you can impact trick, but if you could impact trick other walls, usually you can counter that with flashbangs and grenades. But on that wall in particular, because of the metal sheet, you could not counter with impacts or with grenades and flashes.
But in this case,
was one
Maverick's
way.
in play now, so...
I get it, yeah, Maverick's in play now, and that's a cool thing. And maybe that, you know, it gives... It would be cool if you could impact trick the wall, if the metal sheet didn't exist, and you could also throw flashbangs and grenades back.
I agree, that would be more interesting.
The problem with the impact tricking on that wall in the past was that because of the metal sheet, it was really impossible.
Literally one-sided.
It was a one-sided impact trick.
Yeah, I agree.
Those should never exist. But instead of making it a two-sided sort of hole where you can throw your own attack grenades in, they just removed it outright.
Yeah, unfortunately. Hopefully they make some adjustments on that in the future, but...
I mean, either way, not having it or having it be both ways, it's not the end of the world. The problem was that it was one way.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you on that point for sure. But either way, they will be set up with Leon burning a nice little hole in it, so no need for impact. So I'm not going to get that chance. There goes the batteries, well, at least one of them. So that's going to make it easy for whoever they decide to open. I would imagine you'd want Habana to do at that point, because it's pretty risky for Thermite to walk his little legs up to those holes.
Well, either way, they'll get it open. And once it is open, they have a good cutoff of the main hallway rotation, which means they can isolate the B-bomb site and potentially go for a diffuser plant, which is what is a pretty typical strategy on this site. Well, seems like there actually was a bandit trick there.
Yeah,
from,
made the hole sloppy.
From Rafael, and nobody was playing on the Maverick holes. Thatcher EMP will take out the batteries finally. And while these angles are opened up, they're not going to be used for rotation, it seems, just to cut off the rotation of the defenders. Spark gets Lackey, but Steezy onto Bibu, and they're still trying to clear out cache room. It's a slow process. You can see they used an exothermic charge to open up this wall at the top of cache stairs. And Leon's still looking to apply some pressure to some of the roamers, but not able to catch anybody off guard in the immediate. Flashbang from Steezy will actually blind the Jaeger, but a pre-fire from Spark is able to get the kill. And Secret have failed to take control over cache room. Great job to Vitality. Massive props to holding on to that. That is not an easy feat.
Yeah, definitely doing pretty well here. 3v4 is actually a pretty good situation for Vitality to be in, but 50 seconds left means this could shift back and forth for a second before it even gets to that plant scenario.
Yeah, this is the difference between the Vitality attacks and the Secret attacks. Secret's just a little bit more time efficient. And while they have failed to take control over cache, they're still trying. The flashbang will blind both the Lems and Spark both probably. Spark, though, actually just comes up from behind the cache stairs, gets a Lems, and Zephyr eliminates Leon. So it's all up to Meepy in a 1 versus 4. Vitality very likely to keep themselves in this for now, putting it to 3-5.
Well, at least Meepy picking up one more.
No, he could clutch it. We've seen Meepy do crazier things, but he's only got 12 seconds. It's going to be pretty hard to find all of these spread out defenders. Does manage to find another one, but will lose the fight. Brid manages to beat Meepy, who missed a couple crucial shots onto his leg.
I'm pretty sure had he won that fight, he still wouldn't have had enough time to make it in for the plant.
Yeah, it was pretty much an unwinnable situation for Meepy. But just another round here, and there's 2 potential chances left. Well, I mean, there's 1 chance left for Vitality, and it's over the course of 2 rounds.
Yeah.
They're going to have to win these next ones if they want to get a draw.
Well, we still only have 1 attack win on either side. I mean, the pattern has not been broken yet. So.
Yeah. So either Secret are going to be the ones to break that pattern, or it will be a draw.
Well, this time they're going back to church, and of course this was a bit of a massacre both times. Both teams in terms of the top floor. So we'll see if Secret to play a little bit smarter this time, and as you were saying, maybe clear the top floor first instead of trying to come back to it later. This clash here coming up from Zephyr, so he's playing the defensive Montaigne now.
The thing is you don't necessarily have to clear the top floor.
No, but decide early.
You don't have to clear out the roamers. You either decide early that you're going to, or you need to use an attack strategy that doesn't expose you to those roamers at any point.
Yeah.
Or one that you can just put somebody on flank watch and then push in and no problem, right? Those are your options, but it just didn't happen that way last time Secret came to that bottom floor attack.
Well, We'll see if they can repeat their success here. Now, of course, they're doing a lot of setup downstairs right now. We may see some of them rotate up a little bit later. They're not bringing anything too sneaky other than that Zephyr on Clash, which who knows? We've seen, you know, this was the case with G2 earlier. Picking Clash actually kind of cost them a bit of resources on defense in terms of their inability to push back a lot of the attackers. In this case, if you're just trying to buy time and you have someone else working with you upstairs, that might work out in their favor. But you're usually going to be pretty in people's face as Clash, meaning they're going to know where you're at most of the time. It's not going to be a big secret. Here's Leon sneakily opening these hatches here.
Yeah, it is. It's like 2 ticks of that
it's quick.
blowtorch. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, there's still, I mean, the barbed wire change, so it's not just like a tick, has been good, but there's still a lot of things that are very quick from the tick out.
Yeah, I think there's going to be definitely going to need to be some balancing changes made to Maverick. He's a little bit silly by most players' accountings right now. Same thing for Clash, but luckily Clash did see that nerf that you were talking about earlier to the switch speed of from the shield to the weapon.
Now we know what Clash is for here, just locking out this tunnel, something Smoke would normally be doing, so that's kind of an interesting use of that I hadn't thought of, but seems kind of obvious in retrospect.
Yeah, it is. I think a solid strategy here, and you can see it's going to bear fruit as Thermite is actually going to open up that tunnel, and the pressure now being applied to Zephyr, but he's the perfect operator to hold on to that. They're also going to open up the drop down into kitchen, and the impact trick from Spark was a miss.
Unfortunate is now the impact trick should work even better with the new rules on hatches.
It does. It does work better, and not only with like less holes, or so you need 4 Habana Excaros to open a drop down. So if you hit like you break 3 of them, then you're good. But also on top of that, the drop downs are a lot flatter now. So you know, in that particular instance, on that drop down, it's a lot easier to impact trick it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Well, we have been removed from the match for whatever reason.
We're just too slow.
We're or something along those lines. But
yeah.
Hello, we're back to us, and that round will continue to play out.
Yeah.
Could be that Secret win it, and then that's the conclusion. It could also be that Vitality managed to win that defense. It looked like it was going to be Vitality winning. They were set up pretty well for that.
Yeah, it seemed like a pretty good setup, especially with the fact that they had that clash in the tunnel, which was obviously part of the strategy. You know, because they'd struggled so much with attacking the top floors last time, they were like, okay, let's go in from a more bottom-centric attack, which in case involves dirt tunnel, which was definitely going to be stalled out a bit.
Yep, but we won't know until they tell us.
Mysteries abound.
So it could be the match is over. It could be that we're one step closer to a draw. Either way, we'll find out in, I don't know, probably 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Anyway, the setup there from Vitality was really sound. I like that they were using the clash inside of the tunnel. It's a solid strategy. It was probably going to delay for quite a bit. I would have liked to see that happen, but I expect it to delay for quite a bit. It's probably still delaying right now.
Because they're not playing Capital, there's not much you can do.
Well, I mean, there's other options. I believe there was a Zofia.
But you need 2 people with the Zofia. You can't hit it and then switch very fast.
True, I guess, but you know, the Capital is also not like a sure thing, right?
No, but you don't need 2 people to pull it off.
True, but I also feel like, yeah, sure. We're gonna get back into it though, and it looks like it's 4-5.
Oh,
so
wow!
Vitality won their defense. Liked their setup there, and it makes sense that they would be victorious there. So we're one step closer to a draw. And it's only one more round if Vitality wants to bring us there.
I mean, both these teams are very good, so I think it's not too big a surprise to see a potential draw here. But that means we are continuing the pattern of 1 attack win on either side so far. They are going back to cash. Now, this is the only bomb site where the attack did succeed. So this does work a little bit in Secret's favor.
A little bit, I guess. I mean, I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that they were so efficient at isolating that server wall. But that is also partially because Vitality just decided not to bandit trick it. They kind of just, they had their bandit in construction, right? Rafael was way elsewhere. And I don't know if that was calculated or just a mistake, but either way, it did cost them a lot.
Yeah.
And by them, I mean Vitality. So, setup coming down for Vitality, and pretty much the same as always. No big surprises here. Question is, where are they going to put those evil eyes? We usually see one inside a garage. Most teams will put an evil eye in garage. But what we were seeing from Secret was actually just one in construction and one over in server.
10 seconds to go.
Yeah, I imagine it'll be a slightly different setup here, but there are a couple of good ways to do it. I do think Garage it's pretty powerful to have at the Garage, at least somewhere in there, because it's such a big wide open space. You can take advantage of that. Although there's so much Zofia play that usually that Evil Eye could be taken out very, very quickly. Although a lot of times it is very dedicated to taking the Bandit down to be able to open that wall, so there is that.
True, true, true. On this site in particular, you got to have the Zofia lifelines readily available to clear out the ADSs or just deny the Bandit tricking.
Spark playing the easily position that we see played so much in a similar way. I like that, and he's going to stop them from being able to drone up there. You were talking about earlier about when you use the Evil Eye to kind of peek around corners for yourself, and I think that's a good example of that right there as well.
Certainly is. Lems will open up that hole that cuts off rotation between the B site and Garage, and that's going to put pressure on anyone who tries to vault that window from now on. They're not going to play it, but even opening the hole means the defenders have to think about it. Leon going to use the Maverick to deny Bandit tricking on the wall. A little bit risky indeed, but if you rappel upside down, as they're doing right now, then you can be safe from the low torch holes. You can see Lems has been down, but it doesn't appear that Vitality is aware of this, so it should be a pretty easy pickup from the attack.
No big deal. It is going to cost them a little bit of time, which is something they were usually pretty good at, but it does mean they have a little bit of spare potentially, although Zephyr's job is going to be to burn up as much of that as possible if he can.
Zephyr is playing the optimal operator to deny this push from the balcony, though, as we've seen in the past, Secret's focus is not necessarily on the balcony. It's more used as a something in the post plant to deny the retake of server and just to get some cut off the rotation. Speaking of cutting off the rotation, Leon's trying to do that, but he has been spotted out. The attack has shifted as it did last time over to construction, and same as last time, still plenty of time for Secret to execute through this wall.
A lot of pings coming out here as they're making a lot of callouts for the setup on this execute. It looks like they were changing their mind a little bit on how they wanted to play it. There is Bandit tricking happening, so they could take advantage of Leon there. Surprising that they're not, but in the meantime, speaking of taking advantage of it, Claymore trades off Bibu's kill onto Meepy.
Yeah, the Claymore detonated after Bibu went for the vault, but before then he was able to get the kill. So props to Bibu having the reaction speed necessary to pull that off. The Bandit tricking from Rafael is pretty instrumental in the outcome of this round so far. He's managed to deny the construction push outright, which is forcing Secret into pushing other lanes, less ideal ones at that. You can see Leon just trying to move his way up the cache stairs. This is a very dangerous push, but he has yet to be detected, which could potentially... Oh no, he misses the flashbang, that's huge! CZ takes out Brid, but Rafael will shut down Lems. Coming up the main stairs, Leon's gonna do some team damage, but not able to get the down or kill onto Clash. In fact, the switch there from the weapon will be the final thing that he sees, and Vitality draw the match. 5-5, the final result.
A great 5-5 mirror there. We saw an extremely defensive-sided 10-round attack on Bank, and then a 10-round defense on Clubhouse. You were saying earlier that is Clubhouse is defender favored at the moment, so it is obviously borne out in that. But either way, a good matchup there between two strong teams. Good for Vitality, though, against the team that, in theory, should beat them. Means that at least they don't lose, they get that extra point, and they deny Secret's ability to catch up further to where G2 is at.
Definitely a better match for Vitality than Secret. I think that was something that Secret really needed to win.
Yeah.
It looked like they had the potential, but it just did not happen. I agree with you, though. It was kind of strange that we saw two matches that reflect each other in the halves in one day. That does not often happen.
No, but it made for some good back and forth between these guys. Obviously, we started off very swift with 2-6-2s, so we had some quick initial matches, and then we went to, well, the slowest possible back and forths after that.
Yeah, but it was a bit of a mirror day, that's for sure. Well played to Vitality and Secret both in that